Hey everyone, it is the Angry Honey Badger here, and it is time for Badgers picks for free week 19 in season 4. We're going to see who's free this week and what 4 champions I'm going to recommend. Free this week, we're going to get Hecarim and Lux, Nasus, Nidalee, Sejuani, Sivir, Vayne, Vive, Victor, and Zillion. As for my first pick for this week, I'm going to go with the big dog Nasus, because he is a big dog, but mostly because he's still very strong. Mostly when you get to late game is when he's his strongest, but before then even, he's not half terrible even. But what you want to do, obviously, is just farm that Q, make it to late game, build tanky, and pretty much one-hit people. So that's your goal with him, and he's still good at doing that. So definitely try him out if you haven't played him. As for my next pick this week, I'm going to go with Nidalee. Now, Nidalee does take a little bit of work to potentially play perfectly. Mostly because you have to find that fine line between just throwing spears and then actually using Cougar form. I mean, typically you're only going to use Cougar form to chase out maybe one person, maybe 2 tops. Or if you're still soloing in lane. Don't really want to jump into a team fight in Cougar form. But landing those spears does take a little bit of practice and patience, and figuring out the right build also is super helpful. Luckily, I just currently made a newer one, so you can go check that out right now too. As for my next choice for this week, I'm going to actually go with Vayne. Now, Vayne hasn't seen a lot of love lately, and she's kind of fallen off a tiny bit when it comes to ADCs. Now, lately, she actually synergizes quite well with Braum, I've noticed, so if they don't touch him too soon, it should still go well for her in that lane. Also, the SKT skin is out, so if you want to play your SKT skin, you might want to try some Vayne out, or maybe try some Vayne out because she's free, and then decide if you want to pick her up and that skin. Who knows? But she's still fun. She does still do that true damage, and that makes her very strong. And as for my final pick this week, I'm going to probably go with the most overpowered champion out of all 10 of these. That would be Vi. Vi currently is in a very strong place in the game. She still sees a quite high ban, but that's mostly because between her Q and her ultimate, she is hard to get away from, and that usually results in easy ganks at level 6, or once she hits level 6. Her ganks come from far and away, and they usually work out quite well. Also, she does plenty of damage. If you check out my most recent Vi build, you will see how basically one damage item is enough to completely solo anyone you want. So if you want to play a new strong jungler, if you don't have them, you want to try out Vi. Those are going to be, though, your free champions for week 19 in season 4. Check out any of the champions that I recommended. Obviously, you can click on any of these pictures right now. That can take you to a build if there is a build for them. And depending on what it'll be, depending on if it is up to date or not, check the description to see if there's anything down there that I may have changed. But other than that, just good luck out there this week on the fields of justice.